All right, I won't mince words with this one, guys. We've been talking about, or at least I think today may be the start of talking about games that could potentially, we can make the argument for if it's going to be at the Game Awards or not, right? We did Gotham Knights earlier today. Now it's time for Dying Light 2, and the reason I don't even have an opening for this video is because I do just want to get right in, right? This is a game that I've talked about quite a bit. There's a very, very passionate, if there's anything that this game does have, it's an insanely passionate group of people that are still, maybe they're not super excited for it anymore. Maybe I think they're at this point more flat out annoyed with the game, but that they want this game, to come out. So this, to me, and I know I always do say this, and so that's, I guess, important to note, this to me is a pretty good example of a game that I think fits in well with the Game Awards. It's not a first look. It's not a world exclusive, right? The Jeff Keighley world exclusive things. Keeping in mind, too, and I'm going to try and say this for any game and any of these videos I talk about if the game is going to be there or not. Jeff Keighley is a guy who wants this, okay? From what I know about him, from being in the Zoom calls and stuff, he wants this thing to be about celebration, celebrating what's happened this year, celebrating the console generation, and welcoming in the next one. Okay, there is a split in there between new stuff like the world exclusives, first look stuff like that, but then again all that other stuff, and the other stuff kind of is more I think more important to him. He knows how important the world exclusives are to the people, but like I say with all of these, if we're expecting 10, 15, 20 different announcements at the Game Awards, we've lost our minds, right? And I mean, even I have been so naive to think that we could get like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, big things. In all reality, how it's gone for pretty much every year is we get a couple. We get maybe 2 to 4 things, big things. Obviously, last year was the Series X. It was Hellblade 2. There was a couple others, but the year before was like Mortal Kombat and Crash Team Racing. And, every year has a few. Now, I know people will look at when, the 3 heads of the companies went there, or the orchestra that they did. Those are big game awards moments, but in terms of the world exclusives or the first looks or stuff like that, there is normally, again, like 2 to 4 really big ones. And then there's other ones that are interesting, even to someone like me who I like to kind of call myself like a well-rounded, I'm into a lot of different games. They're cool to me. I get that they're definitely not cool to everybody. So Dying Light 2, again, is an interesting spot because it's not a first look. It's not a worldwide, a world exclusive or the first time we're seeing this because we've already seen this. And the thing with Dying Light 2 is, are we, and I actually said this for Gotham Knights, and it's interesting, it applies for Dying Light, where are we in the promotion for this game? Well, firstly, the game could be in the world's most amount of trouble, that's possible, or it cannot be. And we haven't seen this game in a very, very long time. You could argue we're at the point now, and I would even argue I would like to see gameplay again. Now, let me stop myself right there. I'm not saying to expect gameplay at the Game Awards. In fact, I can guarantee you guys we will not get gameplay for Dying Light 2 at the Game Awards. The Game Awards, I think, generally is just trailers. Okay, so when we talk about all of this stuff, we're just talking about, for the most part, we're talking about a trailer, a new trailer for the game. Now, that does kind of line up because Dying Light 2, well, it was supposed to come out like a year ago, spring of 2019, got delayed indefinitely. It would be cool to see kind of a reintroduction trailer, okay, like to reintroduce the game and have a release date, okay? If that were to happen, that would be pretty cool. Now, again, we can't get, I don't think we're going to get gameplay. I would like gameplay. I think that would make the most sense because it has been so long. And we did get, I show you guys the gameplay, the only gameplay we have of this game every time. I love it. I continue to say that. I actually really, really love the gameplay. I think it looks awesome. But it's like 20 minutes. It's like 20, 25 minutes, and that's all we have. And that's a lot. Actually, for a game in this situation, it is a lot that we have that amount of minutes of gameplay, okay? But the issue is it's been gone for so long, and so many people are worried, and you may not be one of the worried people, but let me tell you, a lot of people are worried. And let me tell you again, and let me tell you something else. When you have a game that does what this game did, delay itself indefinitely and just fall off the face of the earth for like over a year, and completely miss the original release date and then just not have a clue how to do it afterwards, right? There are some issues there. And then obviously, again, we've talked about all the potential rumors inside Techland that there could be, issues there as well. So I would argue that they're kind of in a show us kind of situation where it's like, you did great with Dying Light. you did good with what we saw for Dying Light 2, but you've really dropped the ball, I think, in every single way over the past year and a half. I think you need to show us more stuff in order to prove to us that the game is okay. So again, could you do it? I think you could. I think you show us a trailer. I think you show, and there could be gameplay in the trailer, by the way. I'm just saying it can't be like a gameplay presentation of the game, right? I think you could do a trailer. It could be a gameplay trailer. It could be a release, like a release date trailer, whatever. You could have the release. And also, I would say, if you do a trailer for this game, it better have the release date at the end of it. Especially because, again, we know inside the company that they are actively, like daily, working on a release date for this game. So it is, I mean, I don't think this is a stretch, closer to being done than it is, the other way around, right? Obviously, I think this game, again, it could have a lot of problems. There could have been a lot of things that went wrong. But I do think it's relatively close to being done where they could probably, maybe not a release date, maybe like a release month. I think they could show a trailer and say April 2021, May 2021. I think they could do that. Then as the months go on, you give us the date for it. Then also as the months go on, you give us more looks at the game. That's what I think they're going to do. I feel like, again, while I do want gameplay and to see it, I think the situation they're in is probably just show a very a well put together, condensed trailer, show us a couple different things, and then give us tell us that it is still coming, but give us a month or a day for it. I think that would solve a lot of or that would really check the boxes. It would check a lot of the boxes that they need to be checked off, right? And then after that, then they can focus on showing us the rest. So honestly, earlier, if you guys watched the earlier video, I said for Gotham Knights that my official prediction, I've gotten a lot of official predictions wrong. I've also gotten a lot of official, podcast now predictions, official podcast now predictions. I've gotten a lot wrong. I've also gotten a lot right. And for Gotham Knights, I said it won't be there. And hopefully I jinxed myself and that it actually will. I will, do it in a negative way, potentially if I'm wrong here. I will say that I'm not expecting it, but I'm saying that if I had to predict if it's going to be there or not, I'll say it will be there. I think, again, there's a lot of games that could be there. And as I've said in the past, the issue is, if you make a list of 10, 15 announcements, am I saying that we're not going to get any of those? No. In fact, actually, we probably would get some. If I wrote down a list, and I said this in the Gotham Knights video, if I wrote down a list of 15 of Alex's predictions for the Game Awards, I think I would get a couple. But the issue is you can make a case for all of them, but not all of them can be shown for simple logistics, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. So Dying Light 2, I absolutely think you can make a point for. It's a game that's been gone a long time. It's a game that kind of desperately, I think, needs to re-show itself. I would argue before the end of 2020, because if you don't do that, it continues to just not make you look very good. This obviously is a really good opportunity. So, I mean, there are, I think, practical reasons why they would do that. The game needs to, I think, be shown again. We're at the end of 2020. You go into 2021, that means all of 2020, for the most part, we got nothing. We got just the continued confirmation that the game is indefinitely delayed, which is not a good look. And eventually you need to change that look. And so this obviously presents itself. It's a game not necessarily made for next gen, but it's probably going to take very big advantage of next gen. So that fits kind of the theme if Jeff Keighley wants to do celebration of the past, but also look forward to the future. Well, let's give us some new games. He could do some new, reveals for games coming out. And then also, he could do some things of oh, hey, look, here's some games that got delayed. Here's some games that maybe didn't make it in 2020, but they're coming out in 2021, and we contacted them or they contacted me, and they're ready to show something. So I think Dying Light fits a lot of those criteria for what would be kind of accepted and shown by Jeff Keighley. You know what I mean? So again, just my opinion. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong before for Dying Light specifically. But we're all in the same boat. I do want to kind of finish with that. We're in the same boat here. We all want Dying Light 2. We may not all agree with each other on how to get there or when they're going to do stuff, but we all absolutely want this game, right? So let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Do you think it'll be there? Do you think it won't? Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on. If it is there, if it's not there, obviously we'll talk about it. I do want to make more Dying Light 2 videos. It's a series that I do care about, that I have made a lot of videos for, and I want to continue them, over the next until the game comes out, and then when the game comes out, we'll do even more on it, right? If you guys want to support me on all of my other stuff, my other social media accounts, my Twitter, my Discord, my second channel are all in the description below, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.